Hello, my name is Shelby Ralston, and the title of my research is Decreasing Chronic Absenteeism in Grades 4 through 6. My two research questions here were, what are the causes and effects of chronic absenteeism, and what strategies can be implemented to increase attendance in schools? So as a classroom teacher, I've noticed a lot with attendance, and I've become very frustrated, as a teacher should, when our students are not attending school. And so I've noticed that poor school attendance leads to low academic achievement, a lack of social skills, and self destructive behaviors, not only now, but later in life. And so in my classroom, I have given incentives and I've done interventions to help decrease this chronic absenteeism in my room. And so what I wanted to do was create an initiative so that way I could do this school-wide and not just my classroom, and help teachers improve attendance in their classrooms as well. This took place at Moody Middle School, which is in St. Clair County Schools. We have about 600 students in grades 4 through 6. Then we are 47% free or reduced lunch, but we're not a Title I school. There's 76% Caucasian students, 13% are Black or African American, 5% are Hispanic, and 2% are Asian. In 2016-2017, 22.13% of our students were chronically absent, which is very high. And then the following school year, 11.89% were chronically absent. Now, this decreased quite a bit. However, even 11.89% is too high for students to be chronically absent, because chronically absent means that they were absent 15 or more school days. So I propose an attendance initiative with strategies and interventions for the teachers to use to help improve the attendance at Moody Middle School. So in 2016-2017, our Alabama State report card showed that the chronic absenteeism at our school was much higher than the district and the state. And because of this, for the past couple of years, our school was receiving a B on the state report card, when really they should have been receiving an A based off of our achievement. So then I pulled the demographics, and the Caucasian students, they were chronically absent, 26.65% of those students were chronically absent. And then more alarming than that, 35.53% of students with disabilities were chronically absent. I broke it down into 3 grade levels. Didn't really notice a big difference here, but I will say that the 5th grades seem to be struggling the most with attendance. So when I conducted my research, I broke it down into 2 categories. The first one was causes and effects of absenteeism. And so in this first article, which is the ecological context of school absenteeism in the elementary grades, these authors noted these causes for absenteeism: a lack of housing and transportation, parental substance abuse, large family size, negative feelings about school, conflicting schedules, responsibilities, just to name a few. And then in the second article, these authors, in causes of student absenteeism and school dropouts, they uncovered these effects of poor attendance: lower academic performance, limited future employment opportunities, and dangerous behaviors like early pregnancy, physical injury, violence, dropping out of school. Then my second category was strategies to improve absenteeism. And in the first article, tackling chronic absenteeism starting in the early grades, what cities can do to ensure every child has a fighting chance, these authors listed 5 strategies. The first one, get, share, and monitor chronic absence data. 2, make attendance a community priority. 3, partner with school and city-funded agencies to nurture a culture of attendance. 4, identify and address barriers to attendance. And 5, advocate for stronger policies and public investments. And then in the last article, Edwards found in School Counselors Improving Attendance that at her school, the chronic absenteeism dropped from 26.9% to 19.6% through motivational incentives and counseling and staff interventions. So the method I used at the very beginning of the year, I sent out a survey to my staff and I sent out a survey to the students. These surveys were very similar in nature. To the staff, I asked them questions like, what do you currently do in your classroom right now to ensure that your students are coming to school every day? What do you do? Do you give them any rewards when they have good attendance? What are some reasons why you think they're missing school? And then we asked the students, why are you not coming to school? Um, if you do have good attendance, then why do you feel like some of your friends are not coming to school? And what incentives or rewards would you enjoy for coming to school? We formed an attendance committee made up of teachers from each grade level, along with myself, the assistant principal, and the counselor. And this committee started the beginning of the year by analyzing those survey results, and we went from there to create our plan. Our students participated in monthly mentor meetings with teachers. This was where they met each month with their mentor teacher, and this was a teacher that they had not had as a classroom teacher before, and that they did not currently have. So that way, they were able to build a relationship with another adult in the building, someone that they could look up to, trust, and go to in time of need. And during these mentor meetings, they did lots of relationship building activities. I hung up a hallway bulletin board with the school-wide attendance data using the iNow system. I updated this monthly, and basically what this looked like was I divided it into the data for fourth grade, fifth grade, and sixth grade, and listed the percentage of students that were attending school that month. And then I also broke it down into the homerooms. And so what this did was students were able to walk by this bulletin board and check it out and really see what attendance was looking like for the month for each grade level and for their homeroom. And it made it a pretty big competition between all of the students. Parents were also able to see this, and this really helped them understand the importance of attendance and making sure their child attends school regularly. Classroom rewards, what we did here, it was teacher discretion what rewards they wanted to give out. But at the end of every school day, the teachers who had perfect attendance that day in their classroom, they would hang up a letter and they would spell attendance down the side of their door. And once they spelled attendance, then their classroom was able to receive a reward. We had middle of the year principal rewards. For example, one of the things that the students really wanted for some reason, I thought this was kind of odd, but I loved it. They wanted to sit with the principal. And so the principal did that. And then random intercom recognitions. We had quarterly awards day recognitions with the community present. The students really loved being able to get up on stage and show off. Phone calls home, the assistant principal and the counselor made these phone calls and really just formed relationships with the parents and made it be known that they cared about, all of us care about their child, and we really want them at school. And is there any way that they could be at school today? What could we do to ensure that they're at school? If there's anything wrong, please don't hesitate to let us know. They had classroom data binders in their homeroom classes, and they were able to graph their attendance for each month. So they were able to see when they were at school and when they were not at school and how often they were absent. This really helped open the dialogue between the teachers and the students. And the teachers were able to help those students see why they were absent, and they could talk about what they could do differently to ensure that they are attending school. Some limitations to this this project were teacher resistance, because obviously anytime you do something new, you're going to have some teachers resisting. A new group of students. When I started this in 2016, 2017, that data obviously is going to look different than 2018, 2019 because it's completely new group of kids. And then time, because as educators, we're always running out of time to get everything done. The data was analyzed using iNow at the end of the year and monthly when I would update the bulletin board. And then the following school year, we would check the Alabama State Department of Education report card. These were my findings. So middle school students enjoy competition. obviously. Teachers were on board. They realized that if they were on board with this initiative, they did these strategies, they showed their students that it was important for them to come to school, and they made a big deal about it, then it actually gave them less work in the long run because they didn't have to pull as many kiddos back to their table and catch them up when they came back to school. The end of the year report card went from a B to an A, largely due to attendance. Chronic absenteeism, I originally wanted it to drop to 25% or decrease 25%, but it decreased 84%. 1.9% of our students were chronically absent in 2018-2019. That is significantly lower. The academic achievement went from a 70.37 in 2017 to a 75.39 in 2019. And our growth almost went to a 100. It went from a 90.29 to a 99.58. Very proud of those results. So in conclusion, it's important to put attendance as a priority. It starts obviously at home. The parents need to put it as a priority. Then in the classroom, the teachers need to put it as a priority. The administrators need to put it as a priority. And the community as a whole needs to put it as a priority. We need to build and sustain relationships because that helps improve attendance. Interventions and incentives do work. Attendance is related to academic achievement. I want to add that the state of Alabama defined chronic absenteeism at the very beginning of this as 15 school days missed. Right in the middle of this project, it changed to 18 school days missed. So because of that, I feel like the data could be a little skewed. But I really don't feel like too much. I would like to continue this initiative over several years. However, unfortunately, the global pandemic hit and it put this initiative to a halt. So what I would like to do now, got to change it up a little bit because we definitely are having some attendance issues because of the pandemic. But I want to look at the attendance data of our virtual learners, and I would like to see how we can increase participation in the virtual settings. Here are my references and the standards mastered. And so my last project was the diversity plan that I did last semester for diversity issues for instructional leaders. Now, the reason why I did this project, or the reason why I chose this project, was because I feel like this class as a whole really just made me think and reflect. It helped me grow as an educator and as a future leader. It opened my eyes to things that I didn't even realize. And not only that, but our current district, I moved from St. Clair County Schools to Pell City Schools. It lacks a diversity plan, and we are lacking board policies regarding diverse issues. And so when I presented this I spoke with the curriculum coordinator. She really saw the need for a diversity plan. And the plan is now for the following school year for us to create a diversity committee so we can come up with a plan for our school system. And so I think that's a really big deal that my project helped them see the need for this. So at Walter M. Kennedy School, Walter M. Kennedy Elementary School, we have 430 students. Now I did break it down by race, but I also broke it down by ability and socioeconomic status. And what I want to point out here is 54% of our students receive free or reduced lunch, and 17% of our students have an IEP, and that 97% of our faculty are white female. Now, if you look at the demographics of our race and our students, it doesn't seem like we're very diverse, but we need to focus more on the fact that 54% are receiving free or reduced, and 17% have an IEP. In 2018-2019, the Black students of our school, only 38% of them were reading proficiently and 35% were proficient in math. Students with disabilities, this is an even more alarming rate or statistic here. 17% are proficient in reading and 23% are proficient in math. I do want to point out that in the previous 2 years, these percentages were even lower. So I came up with 4 goals for our diversity plan. The first one is to recruit, hire, and retain a diverse staff. The second one, to increase multicultural awareness among our students and our staff. 3, provide a safe and welcoming school climate to all stakeholders. And the fourth one, to increase community engagement and parental involvement in creating an inclusive school environment. And hopefully, if we can integrate these goals, then we can help those students, or especially the students that we need to target here, the Black students and the students with disabilities, help them become more proficient in reading and math. Here are my references and the standards that were mastered for this project. Thank you.